January 21st, 2026, regular school committee meeting come to order. Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mia Gitchia.
Here.
Ms. DeLay.
Here.
Ms. Martin. Ms. Martin. Ms. McFadden.
Here.
Mr. Bahu.
Here.
Mr. Conway.
Here.
Ms. Del Rossi.
Here.
6 present.
Thank you. 3, special order of business. 3.1, spotlight on excellence, social emotional learning at McAvenue School. Do we have somebody who's going to present? Mr. Superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This spotlight on excellence is related to a motion by Mr. Conway, a report on which we will introduce a little bit later in the meeting. But part of Mr. Conway's motion was to spotlight anti-bullying efforts in our schools, and there's none more worthy of recognition than wonderful work going on under Principal Mike Domina at the McAvenue School. Mike Domina is here tonight with some of his staff. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the Lowell School Committee and members of the Senior Leadership Cabinet. We appreciate the opportunity to come during the Spotlight of Excellence, to have an opportunity to share out some of our social emotional learning focus initiatives at our school and highlighting some of our efforts on bully awareness and prevention. We were struggling with, there's a lot of things going on at our school, but we thought that we condensed it into basically about a 4-point mini presentation. But in what I passed out to everyone is a more comprehensive kind of snapshot of what is going on at our school for you to be able to take a look at when you have a free moment to be able to do that. With the way that we'll structure this is that each one of my social emotional learning team will come up and present
Recording in progress.
We'll present part of the initiatives that we have there, and then at the end I will wrap it up for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
The best way to describe our program is through our SEL mission. Driven by behavior data, we proactively teach and assess our core values and the CASEL 5 social emotional competencies across our school community in an explicit, trauma-informed, and equitable way. Through these efforts, McAvenue Elementary School cultivates a safe and inclusive environment that fosters a positive school culture by consistently acknowledging expected behaviors. This approach creates an optimal learning environment which all students and staff feel supported and successful. Oh, I'm Dan Shanahan, Assistant Principal, McAvenue.
Good evening. My name is Arlene de la Luz. I'm one of the social workers at the McAvenue. As Dan said, our cell work at McAvenue has been guided by 3 lenses: the trauma-sensitive lens, academic integration, and systemic alignment. Having a trauma-sensitive lens has helped us to cultivate a culture in the school of understanding, awareness, of all the respectful practices that are compassionate and safe, provide a safe environment for the students that have either trauma or are under emotional stress. In practice, being a trauma-sensitive school looks like predictable routines, peaceful places in every room, they all look the same, and making sure that adult responses don't escalate students in distress. In terms of academic integration, we try to weave the social emotional skills into the curriculum with the goal to transform a lesson, an isolated lesson, into a more meaningful experience where the student can develop, acquire, apply, and also internalize the social skills. In practice, that would look like a student practicing self-talk, where they're doing maybe a math assignment or a math problem, or maybe the teacher making a connection to bounce the resilience bear through his stories, making a connection with what's happening in the classroom. And lastly, the systemic alignment ensures that all our initiatives are all important and that they don't compete with each other, that we help each other. Academics help Cell helps academics. And that creates a deeper understanding, and it facilitates that students internalize the skills that we're trying to teach them. In practice, this would look like a common language, like we use Open Circle, so it would be Open Circle language, as well as, for another example, would be a text addressing social emotional issues, and that will be how you align it. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kim Teague Power, and I'm also a social worker at the McAvenue School. With the lenses in mind that Arlene explained, our cell is divided into 2 tiers. Our Tier 1 supports are for all of our students, and there are many tiers. We lean on the PBIS framework, focusing on our core values of respect, responsibility, and safety. We post our behavior matrix with the expectations depending on location in the school. We acknowledge mastery of the 3 concepts through our monthly all-school assembly and the core value bracelets. We also have a yearly booster day halfway through the school year to revisit these core values through hands-on activities, which we recently held a couple weeks ago, and it was very successful. The students loved it, as did teachers. Twice a week, our classroom engages in open circle lessons to build community and social emotional concepts. We use a DESER assessment 3 times a year to assess where our students are growing and where they need more support. To facilitate learning and to meet student sensory needs, we keep a variety of sensory tools in the Llama library and also have several sensory halls set up throughout the school.
Hi, my name is Michaela Dennehy, and I am the Social Emotional Learning Tutor at the McAvenue. This year, we aim to make CEL more interactive and facilitate the acquisition of skills through reflection and practice. We are using bulletin boards to increase students' interaction with the concepts. We also have a new resilient initiative where students hear about stories of resilience from Bounce the Bear and then write their own. Every school year, we make bully prevention a priority and alternate doing 6 45-minute lessons in every classroom or 1-hour refresher booster. In the last 4 years, we have used Boston vs. Bullies curriculum. Regarding attendance, our focus is on building belonging and connection, with positive and personalized communication, as well as weekly incentives and monthly challenges for motivation and acknowledgement.
So I'm going to bring it home by talking about Tier 2 interventions. So inside of the handout that you have as part of your packet, it's the grid that's on the 3rd page. So for students who need more intensive support, we have Tier 2 interventions, very similar to instructional interventions that you have at a school. If students aren't making progress getting the initial lesson, then we have to do something different, and social emotional learning at our school is the same way. We have a program called Check-in and Check-out, which students highly benefit from the relationship with a mentor, and they get 2 check-ins to start the day, and they get a check-in to end the day, and they earn points throughout the day. So these are our Tier 2 kids that require a little extra support throughout the day. We also have lunch bunches. That's a very common term that a lot of schools use, and it's run by our SEL tutor, Michaela, which provides an opportunity to socialize in small group setting, whether you're focusing on conversation, problem solving, turn taking. There's a variety of different things based upon the needs of those students. We also have an attendance club, pretty excited about this, that's run by our attendance team. And so this is to provide closer support and incentives to students at risk for chronic absenteeism. So we target families similar to a lot of schools in terms of asking what type of support they need to ensure that their child comes to school. But we also, kind of through backward design, work with the student, right? So if you have a child at home that says, I want to come to school, I don't want to miss out on something, then the parent's going to be more motivated to bring them to school, even if it's late. right? So the attendance club really focuses on the student and really motivating them through a variety of check-ins that happen similar to check-in and check-out. And lastly, we run skill-based groups based upon the needs revealed by DESA. So DESA is a social emotional screener that we provide 3 times a year. Actually, all schools in Lowell do that, but a feather in McAvenue's cap was we were one of the first schools to do it many years ago when we had to pay for it ourselves, where we had to like target a particular grade level because it was pretty expensive to do that. Luckily, the district is covering that and making it relevant for everyone. So we use DESA and other data points that we have at our school. So that's it. Any questions?
School Committee Member McFadden.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I got to visit your school
Yes.
on the 6-7
6-7 day.
school.
Yeah, that was great.
It made me want to go back to elementary school. It was such a fun learning environment. You could tell that there was a ton of learning getting done, but in such a great way. There were a lot of fist bumps happening. The energy was great. So thank you.
Sure, I appreciate the feedback.
Thank you. School Committee Member Conway.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to thank the McAvenue School and the staff for doing a great job. A question, is this, now, was this filtered through the entire school system in all the schools, or is it just concentrated on the McAvenue?
So some of the things like the DESA screener is something that's filtered in all of the schools, and it's a requirement that we are assessing kids so we can respond better to their social emotional needs. Some of the things that are specific to our school, like we're a PBIS school, that's an acronym for Positive Behavior Intervention and Supports. Not every school is connected to that particular organization. So some of the things are unique to our school, but we do have many opportunities to share with other principals and other leaders. We had a lot of instructional rounds this past school year where maybe the focus was on academics, but you got to see a lot of different things happening in schools and share ideas. And Wendy's really good about pairing up a school that might be looking for something with a school that might have the answer for that. And it's been very helpful for us to be able to share our message, but also get other ideas from other schools.
Okay. Well, I congratulate you on that, I really do. The question through you to the superintendent of schools, Mr. Skinner, it's, I've talked to a lot of parents and the concerns, and their child is being bullied, and they're not exactly sure what to do about it. So, you know, they don't know where to go. Sometimes they'll try to get information from the school or report it, and it might not, they might not get the answer or the satisfaction that they're looking for too. So I'm wondering, is there, and I appreciate this portion of the Spotlight on Excellence, but it's something that is so very serious in our school system, you know, especially when we're getting to cyber bullying, because, you know, years ago, bullying for the most part took place from that 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And then the child went home and went to the park, and it was kind of like, for the most part, over for the day until they had to go to school the next day. The problem right now is 24 hours a day. And I know that when I was in education, the last few years, the cyber stuff was coming in, and it was very difficult to decipher. What do we do here? So I'm wondering, going forward, if we can focus again on anti-bullying, so that we can have another spotlight with more, I think, with the mechanical part of it, on what parents should do in their schools if they run into their child. Do you know what I'm saying on that?
I want to be, so my answer to your question is yes, I'll be happy to do that, but I want to be clear about what to produce an additional spotlight on excellence in the future,
Right.
with more direct advice to parents on what they can do, and maybe with some emphasis on cyberbullying.
I mean, we could, you know, even bring in a police officer too, because, you know, when we had bullying, quite often that's what we would bring in. We'd bring a police officer in to help out. We would bring a guidance counselor and so forth. So there would be truly a team effort here, so that parents know that they have a place to go and a concrete solution going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Conway.
Okay.
If I may, because if parents are listening tonight, we'll be happy to do it as Mr. Conway requested, and we'll have another spotlight on excellence. We'll focus on just those points. There's a couple of points that are really critical to be announced right now. There's a very simple mechanism in place. Every school has a principal. If your child is being troubled in a school, being bullied in school, go to the school principal. If you're not getting attention there or getting what you need, we have an Office of Student Support Services, a central office with some skilled, qualified people to facilitate and help you with those issues. So we'll get that information out. I think it's also worthwhile saying that in our schools, through efforts such as what's happening at the McAvenue School, bullying is major, is very much down. We're in a better position as far as bullying than as I've ever known, from the high school through middle schools to elementary schools. It's a very positive story, and it's the kind of work that's being done at the McAvenue School. It's not yelling at students to knock it off. It's working with them, having them understand the expectations for how they should behave, giving them models of that, rewarding that behaviors and so on, and providing them with supports. Bullying in our schools is very much down. I'm happy to produce numbers on that if it would help. Having said that, any one child in our district that feels anxious because they're being bullied, that's too many. And so parents, speak to teachers, speak to school principals, and if you need to, address us at central office and we'll take the concern seriously.
I think one of the issues too is that parents, and I've heard this over and over throughout the years, they're afraid to bring it forward because they think it's going to be worse on their child, and you can certainly understand that.
I hope, Mr. Conway, when you entertain those comments from parents, that you refer them to me. I'll be happy to address
No,
them.
I mean, again, this is, I think, is an attitude that a lot of parents have. They're afraid that, even kids are afraid to say, I'm being bullied because, now they're going to be threatened. And that's why.
I'm saying I'll take that seriously.
Right.
Refer them to me, please, and I'll be
So
happy.
I'm just looking for, maybe some type of solutions for those people that are afraid to come forward. We all know that eventually you do have to come forward, but it's what's the process, what are the steps to get to that point?
I'll be happy to provide
And that's
that.
where the experts can help us out on that. Thank you.
Seeing no other questions, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you for
It
the
was a
time.
great
We appreciate it.
presentation.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. 4 minutes. Motion to approve the inauguration exercise of the Lowell School Committee meeting minutes of January 5th, 2026, and the regularly scheduled Lowell School Committee meeting minutes of January 7th, 2026, and to place them on file by School Committee Member Bahu and seconded by School Committee Member McFadden.
Mia Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Yes. Ms. Martin? I can't hear her if she's on.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? 7 yeas.
5, permission to enter. 5.1, permission to enter January 21st, 2026. Motion to approve the permission to enter by School Committee Member Bahu, second by School Committee Lay. Roll call.
Mia Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? 7 yeas.
Thank you. 6.1, motion by School Committee Member Conway, request the superintendent to supply a detailed safety protocol update for each school in our system. Further, describe the system that is in place to make sure the police department is aware of the current policy and how they receive annual updates. Seconded by School Committee Member Del Rossi. Mr. Conway.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This motion kind of speaks for itself. I think it's important that, again, the entire community and parents and so forth and teachers and administrators, we all get an update on what is our protocols, what is our safety protocols, because after all, they do change. There's always that new idea that comes forward that can make things safer for us. And I just wanted to get that on record so that we all had it. All right? And I'll look forward to the report. Thank you.
Superintendent Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Mr. Conway. It's a worthy motion. I want to advise the committee, in case you're unaware, that Mr. Conway's motion is not difficult to respond to. We have all of the information at the ready. Each school has what we call a safety plan or a crisis plan. It's updated each and every fall with advice and with templates and so on. If those are the plans Mr. Conway's motion seeks, they're about 45 pages or so long. And if we provide them, as the motion says, for each school, a quick math estimate is that we're going to be copying about 13,000 pages. We also have a safety subcommittee, so I'm going to just offer some options. One option is to do exactly as the motion says, but I'm just sharing with you that's about 13,000 pages. We could also take it up in subcommittee, but we could also take a sample of schools that Mr. Conway wants, those actual plans, as I said, about 45 pages long. Let's produce a sample of them. I'm just offering these as alternatives. I'll be happy to accede to the school committee wishes.
Mr. Superintendent Conway. Superintendent Skinner.
I think that's sensible. Thank you.
Yeah. Roll call.
Mia Getchia,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
Yes.
Ms. McFadden,
Yes.
Mr. Bahu,
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi.
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you. 6.2, School Committee Member Martin requesting a nomination and vote from the Lowell School Committee for member Connie Martin to continue as the committee's representative on the Board of Directors of Lowell Telemedia Corporation for another term. Seconded by School Committee Member McFadden. Ms. Martin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Just requesting from my colleagues if I would like to continue in this role as the school committee's representative on the Board of Directors at Lowell Telemedia. I've served, this would be, I believe, my third term. I would like to continue serving at with their indulgence. If someone would be kind enough to make that motion and second and to vote for it, I would appreciate the support. Thank you very much.
Motion by School Committee Member Conway, seconded by School Committee Member Lay. Roll call.
Mia Getchia,
Yes.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
Yes.
Ms. McFadden,
Yes.
Mr. Bahu,
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi. 7 yeas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
6.3, motion by School Committee Member Bahu, have the proper department report transportation costs for the homeless students being transported and attending LPS district, being transported and attending other school districts, as well as how many of those students are being transported more than 40 miles round trip per day. Seconded by School Committee Member Lay. School Committee Member Bahu.
Sure. So this motion stems from our December 17 permission to enter. We had about $250,000 in transportation costs for homeless students. And I realize we have McKinney-Vento that we need to go ahead and honor and follow the law on that. But I'm sort of curious, not only how many students go to this school district and attend other school districts, which may be local, could be Dracut, Methuen, and so on and so forth, but also the ones that are being transported more than 40 miles a day. Because I know that if a student is being transferred 20 miles, then ultimately they're missing an awful lot of time on learning. They're missing, I'm sure, school at times with attendance rates and snow and ice. And don't forget, one school down the road, Framingham, may have school and we may not have school. Are those buses running? Are they getting a fair shake at their school choice? So if we could just come up with, that report for 2 years, that would be great, simply because it would be good knowledge, and then maybe we could begin to progress and have the students realistically come to this school district if possible, and secondly, try to reduce some transportation costs, which are truly very excessive these days.
Thank you, Mr. Bahu. Roll call.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Ms. Delay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu.
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi. 7 yeas.
Thank you. 7, Subcommittees. 7.1, the approval of the minutes of the ad hoc building naming subcommittee meeting of December 16th, 2025. Ms. Martin?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. The meeting did take place on December 16th. In attendance were myself, Ms. Del Rossi, and Ms. DeLay. We also had Dr. Hall from the administration there for the meeting. This was prompted by request from Mr. Lay and really a variety of other community leaders who have expressed an interest in wanting to name in honor of Senator Kennedy, a building at Lowell High School. So that kind of prompted this conversation. It did bring to the forefront that we recognize that with the new high school kind of coming online now, there are some, I think, significant naming opportunities that I think the community would like to be a part of. And we certainly want to hear from the community about people we feel would, be appropriately honored in this way. I think we're looking at this as our first pass at this. So as part of the subcommittee, there is a form that has been developed. It is available through the superintendent's office. I say that here tonight so that the community is aware that the process really is to reach out to the superintendent's office to request the nomination form. It does look for, basic information of history and rationale and logic behind the request. I know that for Ms. DeLay and for a group who are supporting Mr. Kennedy's honoring that I suspect that will be the first one that we probably work on, which I think is very appropriate. So we'll be looking forward to receiving that completed form. The forms would be submitted to the superintendent's office and sent to the ad hoc building naming subcommittee. Any decisions obviously then would be brought to the full committee for any kind of action to be taken. So I think it's an opportunity here in the city of Lowell for us to be able to honor some extraordinary people who have played an important role in educating our city. I certainly encourage the community to make these nominations so that we can have the chance to honor these individuals moving forward. I will also caution it is not a very fast process. I just want to make sure people are aware of that. But so that was the crux of the meeting. I do put that forward as a report of progress and happy to answer any questions from any of my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Ms. McFadden?
I have a question, just being the newbie. When we go to name a building after somebody, what's the process? Like, does the school committee recommend it to the city council for approval? How does that work?
The naming opportunities happen from the school committee, so we're responsible for the naming. Again, it goes through the ad hoc building naming subcommittee, and then the full committee has to take action on it.
Thank you. Motion to accept the report as a report of progress by Ms. Del Rossi and seconded by Mr. Bahu. Roll call.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Ms. Delay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu.
Yes.
Mr. Conway,
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi. 7 yeas.
Thank you. 8, report of the superintendent. 8.1, strategic planning update, refining and implementing standardized procedures and processes. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. School committee members, in our strategic plan, we've outlined ambitious goals and targets for the next 5 years. Much of the work towards doing that is delineated year by year, and so we have several strategic initiatives that we're working on this current year. We intend to give you an update on them, 1 or 2 per meeting from now through the rest of the school year. So this is the first, in other words, to give you updates on the work that we're doing towards our strategic plan goals. The one in your packet tonight was produced by Dr. Pinto, and if you'd allow him, please, I'd like him to explain and walk you through it. Dr. Pinto.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Good evening. So the goal that I'm responsible for is strategic goal 4.1, and this focuses on refining and implementing standardized procedures and processes across schools to improve efficiency, accountability, and transparency. So you'll see a fuller update. It's in your packet. Just in terms of progress, the Finance Department's on track with the approved timeline and has completed or advanced several pieces of the work. The strategic plan sequenced this work into 15 steps over a period of April 2025 to June 2027, allowing for a diagnosis, development, implementation, training, and continuous improvement. So you'll see some of the items are listed there, the draft and completed SOPs, standard operating procedures are noted there. In terms of communication and implementation, we socialize them using all of our available district communication channels. So we have the Finance Office website. We also use the LPS Leader, which is a weekly note out to staff, administration, and we use in-person meetings. So be they budget meetings, leadership meetings, and all administrator meetings. The next steps for us, the upcoming phases will emphasize stakeholder feedback, we'll be further refining procedures, and then we'll share out with central office staff, school leaders, and then at some point we'll need to assess whether they're clear and have been implemented effectively, and we'll make sure that they're in keeping with the strategic plan timeline. So I just wanted to assure district stakeholders that we're making sure that the process is very clear and very transparent, and we're looking to promote efficiency and accountability by standardizing processes across the district.
School committee members have any questions, Dr. Pinto will provide them. Otherwise, thank you for that opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Pinto. 8.2, Lowell High School construction update. Superintendent Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had recently, it was last Thursday, the latest SBC meeting, the School Building Committee meeting. I was joined there by School Committeeman Mr. Bahu and Dr. Hall. This packet is the one that was produced for that meeting, and it's in your packet. We're happy to take questions, and I'm sure Mr. Bahu or Dr. Hall would also be able to contribute if you do have questions. I don't know, Mr. Bahu, if you care to speak on it.
Well, at the meeting, we did discuss a few things. One thing was the locks, the hardware mechanisms that are on the front door of Lowell High School are jammed. They're not working properly. They open regularly. The hardware company has been very difficult to get a hold of and ultimately come and repair those locking devices. They were intended to come in December during Christmas break. However, they weren't able to make it, but they are under the belief that they will be there at the end of January. So we're hoping those lock sets get taken care of. There was an elevator issue. There is an elevator issue where people that work for the school administration are actually getting locked into. So we're having some elevator problems. Ultimately, the project manager is looking into the elevator issues and trying to define which other school districts that they've installed those in, and to see if they are working properly there, to make sure that it's not an elevator issue before they begin their corrective action. Ultimately, you know, we spoke about the budget and the overall added costs and the timeline, and I think that's, you know, very public news. So ultimately, you know, we all know it's delayed by about a year, and that it's going to cost us an extra $37 million. And we are crossing our fingers, hoping that it will be done on time so that we can progress in our daily walk and begin to educate students without any construction going on within the building. But if you have any other questions in reference to this, please do take a look at the packet that's enclosed, and feel free to ask any one of us that were there.
Thank you, Mr. Bahu. 8.3, motion response regarding spotlight on anti-bullying initiatives update. Mr. Conway?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think we already discussed that. It's all taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you. 8.4, motion response regarding Bridge Street pedestrian crossing. Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes, thank you. So through reading through the motion response, I saw that the steps were filled in where they were kind of cracked and broken, which I'm grateful for, and they're going to do more painting, which is great. I just wish somebody would just do a safety analysis, because those steps are jagged and uneven throughout, never mind broken pieces. And I'm just concerned for the safety of the students crossing there. Overall, whether it's something that could be done in the summer or something, those steps are very treacherous going onto Bridge Street. And the crossing guard there is wonderful. I just want to assure safety for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Del Rossi. 8.5, finance update. Dr. Pinto?
Thank you. I did want to comment briefly on this. The details are in your packet. The finance update centers around the budget process. So I did want to keep school committee and our constituents informed of the steps that we're taking with regard to the budget process, which is in full flight at the moment. So we've detailed a number of things for cabinet review, and cabinet is approved of things like guardrails, weights, transitions, and we'll be working on workbooks next. We'll be communicating, it outlines how we'll be communicating with principals and how principals will be briefing the cabinet. Also details how we'll be communicating with school site councils. We've populated each school website with a presentation, a video and slide presentation, a little training on budget basics to allow them to participate more fully in the process. And we just completed 2 community meetings. So on the 20th and 21st, we held open meetings for the community to participate, in which we provided them with budget basic information. An item that's still open is the community survey. So the community survey is still open. It's open till the 30th of the month. We're seeking input from community members on where they think resources should be allocated. And so you'll find that on our socials, so Facebook, Instagram. We blasted it out via LPS Connector, and it is posted on our website. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you, Dr. Pinto. 8.6, U.S. Department of Ed FY26 Community School Grant Update. Superintendent Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There is a report in your packet. We also have with us Ms. Brown-Legrand to take any questions or comments if school committee members have them.
Seeing none, we'll move on. Motion to accept the reports of the superintendent, 8.1 through 8.6, as a report of progress by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Roll call.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I think we missed one thing. We need to vote on the homeschooling
We haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't gotten there yet. That's 8.7. That's
8.6, my
next.
mistake. Great.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Thank you. 8.7, home education. Motion to approve home education by Mr. Lay, seconded by Ms. Martin. Anybody have any questions on it? Roll call.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin? Ms. Martin? Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you. 9, new business. 9.1, summary of proposed changes to K through 12 school assignment policy. Motion to approve proposed changes to the K-12 assignment policy by Mr. Conway, seconded by Mr. Lay. Any questions? Mr. Bahu.
I read this document in full, and it seems like, you know, there's a lot going on. We had 3 lotteries that we voted on in June of 2021 for parents to go ahead and register their students. And it sounds to me that up to 76% of the parents enter their applications on time and such like that, which mean that 24% realistically do not. And we're going from 3 lotteries to 1 lottery. And it seems like parents may not be prepared for that. I know that we moved our submission date to, I believe, early April for a May 15 lottery. Is that correct?
Ms. Brown-Lagrange.
So kindergarten registration starts February 2nd, and I believe I have Ebisola, and she's just going to check my date. I believe that the cutoff to be entered into the lottery is mid-April, yeah, April 12th. Yeah, first week in April, yeah. So I can back up if you'd like, if it would be helpful just to give kind of an overview.
Sure.
As part of the strategic plan, we were charged with looking at our assignment policy and enrollment policy. I think in part because of the feedback that I've certainly received, but I think existed prior to me even coming from building administrators as well as parents, that the concern about the 3 lotteries. So what that has done is it has pushed out the dates by which our kindergartners, who are generally the parents that want to be the most prepared kind of heading into summer, knowing what school and what classroom their student might be in, don't, if they stay in the lottery all the way to the 3rd lottery, aren't finding out until July. If they don't get, let's say, their preferred school at the 1st or the 2nd, and wait till the 3rd. For administrators and for schools, they typically have an open house of some kind for kindergartners. That occurs obviously before school ends. So for that 3rd group of parents, that's occurring before they ever know where their kiddos are going to school. And when we pulled the data, most of our kiddos, almost 80%, are actually enrolling before around May 15th. So the bulk of our kiddos that are coming to kindergarten are enrolling before that, what would now be our 2nd lottery date. So for us, when the committee, as well as the feedback from a lot of the building administrators, is that they'd rather go back to the 1 lottery, fill it to more capacity, the schools leaving spots for our special education students and such that we need to in the buildings. Parents would then know where their students are going to earlier in the process. It doesn't change anything else around sibling policies still exist. None of that changes. It's just going back to 1 lottery. The changes that you've seen in the policy, the substantial one is going back to 1 lottery from 3. Some of it is reorganizing the information, honestly, and that was there. It was kind of a little bit disjointed. There was stuff about kindergarten in one section and then again later, so we put it into a little bit more organized. So the kindergarten enrollment reads as 1 section. And then there were some things that we do as practice that were not explicitly stated. So for example, students that are out of zone, not having necessarily sibling preference in their, if it's a lottery school. because if you think about it, that student is living outside the zone of that school, right? And would be getting priority over potentially parents that live in that zone that also have siblings in that building, if that makes sense. So that's always been practice, and that's not changed. It was just worded absently. It said something to the effect of students, in-zone students have sibling preference. It was silent to some degree on out-of-zone students. The withdrawal policy is not a change. It just actually was not inside our policy about what the policy is and what the actions are and who's responsible for what in our withdrawal policy. The appeals process changed just because of the changeover from equity to student support. Is there any other questions? Our weights have not changed, so our lotteries will continue to exist with siblings being a preference. You know, in the system, there's a weighted lottery for the computer system. Proximity, we have to, based on a consent degree, be mindful of our diversity balance in the buildings as well. And then there's always the hold for our buildings that might have specialized populations inside the schools.
Sure. Yeah, another question.
Sure.
This policy, JCA.
Yep.
Is this a Lowell
Recording
policy,
in
or is this
progress.
essentially
This is a school committee policy. So it's, you voted on it. It's a
This is
school
what
committee
we
policy.
would be voting on?
Correct.
This is what we'll actually be voting
Yes,
on right
yep.
now?
Yep.
Okay. Let me ask, because, you know, there's a lot of information.
Yep.
And and I know time is of the essence because we're going to open registration on essentially February 2nd, a few
Right.
weeks from now.
Yep.
Is there a chance that we could have maybe a policy subcommittee meeting on this to go ahead and discuss things like students at preschool and, you know, having 10% absenteeism? What the lottery schools are in reference to neighborhoods. So, and then if a sibling is, you know, they've moved out of a district, and then that sibling is going to that in-district school, you know, maybe some more clarification on it so that we can better understand it before we go ahead and take a vote on it. And again, I know time is of the essence, so. And I know that there aren't any subcommittees sent out yet, but I would, you know, be happy to go ahead and chair this meeting so that we could go ahead and begin to the process of not only adopting this policy, but with better understanding.
Superintendent Skinner.
Thank you. I want to give some assurance to Mr. Bahu, and also I think it's a good idea to have the subcommittee meeting and to answer those questions and many others maybe at the subcommittee meeting. I want to just provide, it took me a while to get my head around this as well, and I want to provide a simplistic or simple response about what's in here. For the most part, what's in here is reducing from 3 lotteries to 1, which was how it used to be. And there's no other change, Mr. Bahu, to the policy. As Ms. Brown-LeGrand explained, some of the confusing languages within 2 different places has been collapsed into one place, so it's more readable for parents. The idea of going to 3 lotteries was very well intentioned, but it really throws us. Parents don't know for sure where their child is going to go to preschool or kindergarten until after the lottery, the 3rd lottery has taken place. Schools don't know what students are going to receive, and places are kept open in certain schools because there's going to be another lottery coming up. The vast majority of students can be placed using the one lottery. And remember that when new students come in after that time, they get placed. They just get placed in schools. We don't have to wait for a lottery to do it, and the whole system gets freed up. We're not gummed up like we are now. Principals complaining, parents complaining, and we're giving them the answer of, oh, we have another lottery coming up, Mrs. Jones, it'll be in July or whatever. And we're eliminating that need to wait. Most folks would, 4/5 would get their response after the first lottery, and then everyone else would get the response almost immediately because we'd be able to place them and not have to wait for further lotteries.
Sure.
It's really a simpler system.
Mr. Mayor, all I heard there is Mr. Bahu would like to chair the Policy and Governance Subcommittee, and I put a motion forth for that.
I will take your recommendation.
can I just finish by saying, if it meets the committee's wishes, I want to meet the committee's wishes, but if it meets your wishes, my suggestion would be two-part. One is, by all means, to have a policy subcommittee meeting to answer any and all questions, but to please approve the motion tonight to allow us to go to one lottery, because if we don't have that, we're not likely to be able to do it, or without a lot of complication, it takes quite a lot of planning. If we can't do that planning and we decide to do it in March or something, we won't have time to organize it for this year. If the committee votes on this motion to go to one lottery tonight, you have always have the purview to change policy in any way you wish going forward.
Sure. So ultimately, I'm not prepared to vote on that. I would much rather have a subcommittee meeting, and I have next week wide open, and I know our next school committee meeting is on February 4th. So I would be happy to report on what happened at our subcommittee meeting. We could go ahead and adopt it on February 4th and realistically start our filing of applications at that point. I don't know if there's a huge difference between February 2nd and February 4th. I don't know the parents are, chomping on the bit to go ahead and put that in.
Just a point of clarification, we don't have a subcommittee put together because it has to be voted on by the board, the subcommittees, before we can have a subcommittee meeting.
Great.
So
And I was just blessed enough to have Ms. Del Rossi
You
nominate.
absolutely will be the chairperson. Ms. Del Rossi had already appointed you.
Yeah, I would love to put that motion.
You don't even need a motion, you just appointed him.
But honestly,
Ms. Del Rossi.
Mr. Bahu's only talking about this one separate piece of the policy. The Policy and Governance Committee covers so much.
Why are you
So I
trying
don't
to
know if
deter
he's
him?
just interested in this piece, but I would be more than happy.
Why are you trying to deter him? We already put him there.
And I don't want it, but this is very important. So this is something that we need to go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Lay.
If I could convince my colleague, Mr. Bahu, to just oblige with the superintendent and just to vote on this particular change, which is from changing from a 3 lottery to a 2 lottery. But before I ask him to do that, may I ask, in the past, why do we need 3? And if we don't have 3 lotteries now, and we use only 1, will we ever need to have a 2nd or a 3rd lottery?
So the idea of the lottery is to give every child the same opportunity or the same chance of landing in a preschool, a kindergarten or preschool of their choice, or rather, the ones that are most sought after. So not all of the schools' programs are sought after equally. And you could fill up the program at one school very quickly, and then somebody moves into the district, and that school is no longer an option for anybody because it's full. So the idea of the lotteries was give everyone the same chance of getting into that school. And somebody thought, let's do it, and let's do it in April or May. And then someone else thought, well, you know what, though? When that lottery is over, what if somebody comes to Lowell after that or comes in to register their child after that? They have no chance. So somebody came up with, let's have multiple lotteries. But again, it gums up the works. You keep seats open in various preferred schools right until the 3rd lottery is over. And nobody knows the final outcome until we do that. This is saying the vast majority of people can be dealt with in the 1st lottery, and then we can go ahead and assign people after that.
Okay. Through you again, Superintendent. So we have a choice to use 3 lotteries, but we don't have to use all of them, right? If we just do the first one like you wish and fill 90% of the students, then the current policy probably don't need to be changed because you could just practice your first lottery and use it, and then the 2nd lottery only use when it's necessary.
I would agree with you, Mr. Lay, but the policy calls for the 3 lotteries, and that's why we're asking you to change it to 1. We can't ignore the policy.
All right, if that's the case, Mr. Bahu, would you like to have it vote to approve now so we don't hold up the
Well, listen, if you would all
process?
like to take a vote, I'm only one person that says this should go to the policy subcommittee. we're welcome to go ahead and take that one vote.
I'll make
All
a
right.
motion.
I motion to approve.
Motion by Ms.
Second.
McFadden, seconded by Mr. Lay. Ms. Martin would like to speak on the,
Oh, okay.
Your motion is to just approve it? There was already currently there is a motion, sorry. Currently, there is a motion on the floor to approve the policy by Mr. Conway and Mr. Lay. So, I know Ms. Martin wants to speak, but we would need to vote this where there's a motion on the floor, or
make a substitute.
or he can make a substitute motion to go to subcommittee. But I'm not sure what we're looking to do here.
Maybe we should
Ms.
let
McFadden?
Ms. Martin speak
Yes.
first before we
Ms.
make
M-
a motion.
Ms. Martin,
Thank you. Thank you very much. What I would say is that overall, I do think that it makes sense for us to return to the single lottery. So overall, I do support this move, but I can understand the need for some additional information. If I could, what we could do, because again, we don't have our subcommittees in place yet, but what we could do is very quickly next week, be able to do a special meeting that would allow us to get the additional information. I mean, there is, as the superintendent, I believe, is, explaining, there is some significant history behind why we tried this. And I think it made sense at the time. I think returning to the single lottery does make sense now. I think we've seen that this multiple process really hasn't accomplished what we had hoped it would. But it is a very, I think it's an important choice that we're going to be making. So I do think we should give it the time it deserves. And I think, again, we can't kind of like create a subcommittee out of thin blue air, but we could do a 30-minute special meeting to discuss the specific issues so that all the members could feel comfortable moving forward with this change. I do think that we'll be able to move towards the single lottery, but I do think it's important that everybody's comfortable with that move because I do think it's significant. Thank you.
Mr. Conway, would you like to withdraw your motion to approve?
That's fine.
Mr. Lay, would you like to withdraw your second to the motion to approve?
Yes.
Okay. So, and Ms. McFadden, you made a motion to send this to a subcommittee?
That was not going to be my motion, but I'm okay with what Connie is proposing. I just want to say that when I was on the campaign trail, I talked to several families who had children going into kindergarten, and not only does it give the parents a sense of like uncertainty and anxiety, but the little guys and little gals going into school as well, not knowing where they're going to be. So I think it's a really smart move. So I'm just going to say that.
So what is the wish of the
Definitely in favor
body
of
at this point?
I'd make a motion that we pull for a special meeting next week for a hopefully very quick 30-minute special meeting.
Motion by Ms. Martin to have a special meeting next week, seconded by Mr. Conway. Roll call.
May I get you?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
7 years.
Thank you. 9.2, approve and accept and expend allocated FY26 awards. Motion to approve, accept and expend allocations FY26 awards by Mr. Lay, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Any comment on the motion? Roll call.
May I get you?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? 7 years.
Thank you. Motion to bundle and approve agenda items 9.3 through 9.6 by school committee member Conway, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. I would like to be registered as recusing myself from this. Mr. Lay.
May I ask about the trip? Is it about the trip? Are we talking about the bundle? Yep.
No.
No? Apologize. I'm ahead of myself.
So you're abstaining.
I'm abstaining, yes.
Yep.
Roll call.
Okay, may I get you? Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 abstain.
Thank you. Motion to approve the food service vacation pay by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Lay. Any questions? Roll call.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you. 9.8, budget modification request. Motion to approve the budget modification request of $29,533.80 by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Any questions? Roll call.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? 7 yeas.
Thank you. 10, conventions conference request. Need a motion to bundle 10.1 through 10.6, approve the convention conferences request by
Connie has a question.
Ms. Martin.
It's actually on this upcoming group of
Okay.
approvals, so if you want to, I'm happy to second it.
Those are the kids.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Lay, seconded by Ms. Martin. Ms. Martin?
Thank you very much. Just looking at all the convention and conference requests, I would just like to pull out, I know that there is on 10.3, Lowell High School trip to Japan that will be coming up. Just for the organizers at Lowell High School who are planning that trip, I do want to remind them that there is the Martha McQuaid Adventure Fund scholarship program that's available for students who are going on trips like these. I say this because Japan was of particular interest to Martha McQuaid, who this was named after. I would love to be able to see students take advantage of it. So if the administration could please communicate that to the organizers of this trip, it would be something that the organizers of that fund would love to see applications for. Thank you very much.
Mr. Lay.
Thank you. Similarly, I had question in regarding to Japan. Why Japan? What is how did we do you know, if we know, Superintendent?
Superintendent Skinner.
Why Japan? And it sounds interesting. It's just
I don't have any further
curious. It's
information,
such a
Mr.
long-
Lay, than what's in the packet. So I don't know. I know that the club has planned trips to various destinations over the years. Why this time they've chosen Japan, I don't have a specific answer to that other than what's in the packet.
yeah, it sounds interesting. I support it. I'm just curious. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lay. See no other questions, roll call. Ms.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi? 7 yeas.
Does anybody have any announcements? Superintendent Skinner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to let the school committee know and the public who may be watching as well. Last meeting, we discussed the idea of schools being open or closed on the upcoming voting days, February 3rd and March 3rd. We didn't have information that we could in time to put in your packet. However, we've continued discussions both with school principals and also with the city administration, the director of elections and the city manager, and we have a plan in place to keep our schools open on those days. I think that's good news for the vast majority of our parents who seem to be calling for that. So we intend to keep schools open on those days with significant plans in place for accommodating voters as well as for safety and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Skinner. Motion to adjourn by School Committee Member Lay, seconded by School Committee Member Martin. Thank you.